What's up, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Hearthstone Power. Today we are looking at Mojang's new game called simply Scrolls. It is a digital TCG in the vein of what you've seen a lot on my channel. It's a neat little game from the creators of Minecraft. I'm playing it since Tuesday. It came out in beta officially on Tuesday for $20 US. And I'm going to show you this game. It is quite fun. So let's take a look at the game. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play a quick match here at the medium difficulty. This is the deck that I've started. It is when you start your account, you get to pick from one of 3 different starter decks. I'll let the opponent play out his turn really quick. Then I'll explain to you what's going on. Okay, so when you start your account, you get to pick from one of 3 decks. You can pick, there are 3 main factions. You have the Growth faction, which you can see down here represented by the little green. My opponent is actually playing Growth as well. There is the Energy faction and the Order faction. So you pick one of those pre-constructed decks and you get a 50 card starter deck. And the game, after you pay the $20, is free to play. So after you get your starting deck, you play a bunch of games, you get gold from your victories, and you spend your gold to get random booster packs and stuff like that on the store. And we'll go into that later in the video, but for now let's get into how the game is played. It's a similar game to Duels of Champions, Might and Magic Duel of Champions that I played on my channel before, and I want to say like Magic the Gathering, but it's really like Duels because of the battle placement here. So you see you have all these hex tiles. So battle placement is important in this game. But other than that, it's a typical TCG with spells and creatures. And you get this type of creature, well, this is a structure. You have enchantments. Stuff like that. So the objective here is to defeat these idols. Yeah, I think they're called idols. So you have 5 idols on each side. You only need to destroy 3 of the 5 idols in order to win. So each idol has 10 health, as you can see here. If you destroy 3 of them, you are victorious. So naturally, you want to place creatures in a strategic way such that you can kill 3 of them off. And of course your opponent is going to try to defend them with other creatures and structures and destroying them. So that is the main objective here. And you do this simply by using creatures to attack. So let's look at a simple creature here. Just like in almost every other TCG, you have a resource cost here, which is 5. You have his attack, which is 3, and his health, which is 4. Now this I'll get into in a quick second. This is called your countdown. And let's go over the resources and how they work really quick. Every card, they're technically not called cards, they're all called scrolls. And the way you get resources is you can sacrifice any of these cards in order to increase your count. So I could click this card, and if I click this little leaf here, it's going to add 1 to my growth pool. So the opponent did that on his last turn. So you do have to sacrifice the card, and it will get destroyed. But you will get a resource of that faction added to your count. Now you could play multi-faction decks, and I've seen that already. People are playing 2 factions in one deck, maybe even 3. I haven't seen 3 yet. But you get that specific faction resource added to your pool. So you might have a 0 of 1 or something like this, or 1 of 1 of growth, and you might have 0 or 2 of 2 of another faction, and of course you can only play those cards. So if you diversify, you can get more powerful cards, but of course now it becomes more complicated to cast your cards, much like Magic the Gathering. So the other thing you can do, besides sacrificing a scroll for a resource, is sacrifice a scroll to draw 2 cards. Now, I think this is a really important thing that people really need to pay attention to. You are going to be sacrificing your cards eventually, because you're only drawing 1 card per turn, and you are very rarely drawing extra cards besides from your sacrificing. There are a few cards that let you draw extra, but you really are going to be sacrificing scrolls a lot. Now it's important to know you can do one or the other. You can either sacrifice to gain resources, or you can sacrifice to draw 2 cards. So it is an important decision that you will make throughout the game. So for now, let's get the game going, and we'll put some basic things in play. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm going to play a little bit more simple and not strategic, because I want to show you the cards. For example, this card here, let's look at this card. This is Junkyard. That is a structure. Structures mean that once you place them on the field, they cannot move. Creatures, on the other hand, right now, can move one hex tile per turn in any hex that it's connected to. I'm sure there will be other cards that let you move them, and I'm pretty sure they're available in the game right now. But once you place a structure in play, that is in that position, and you can't move it unless a card tells you otherwise. So what I would do is I'd probably sacrifice the structure, because, I mean, this is really just a blocker, and I've been playing my games mostly on the offensive, and it's served me well so far. Again, I haven't really played much multiplayer. I've only played a couple matches with a friend, and all my other matches have been against a medium level computer. So I haven't been playing defensively. So this card is obviously, you can look at it and say, purely defensive card. It has 0 attack, but it has 3 health. And I'm going to show you how battle works once we get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice this card. Let's look at it really quick. For 1 resource, you can heal a target unit by 3 health. So right now I don't really need this, so I'm going to dump this for 1 resource. So now you can see I have 1 of 1 down here on the growth resources. So with that 1 resource, I'm going to play my Junkyard. And the strategy of placement on structures and everything, I'm kind of getting the hang of, but it's right now it seems a little arbitrary. Like, do I put it on this tile or this tile? Now, once the board starts filling up with creatures and you kind of run out of space, then it becomes important. But in the beginning, I think I've been putting most of my walls and structures up front, and you'll see why. I'm going to put in the same spot he put his. Actually, you know what? I think he played a Junkyard as well. So you can see the opponent played this card on his first turn. And here you can see a history of the cards that were played. So he did play a Junkyard on his last turn. And once the turn is over, you end your turn. Let's see what the opponent does on his turn. He sacrifices a card, and he plays another Junkyard. Okay? Right, it is my turn, and I draw a very expensive creature. Alright, so far I can't cast anything until I sacrifice something else. So I will sacrifice this card right now. It's a good card, but it's a little pricey right now, and I need to draw some more cards. Also, I need to draw some cheaper cards, really. I could play this card. Let's look at it. It will poison the creature for 3 rounds. This is exactly like it sounds. Poison does 1 damage at the beginning of the turn. So if I put this on a creature, it will take 1 damage every turn for 3 turns. And it could die, it might not die. If I were to put it on this Junkyard, naturally it would die in 3 turns. But I don't want to use this card on the Junkyard. They're not really in my way just yet. So really nothing else for me to play, so I'm going to end my turn. And he's playing his first creature. And now we're going to explain the mechanic of countdown. Alright, so in the middle here you have this important number called countdown. What this does is this tells you when your creatures can attack. At the beginning of every turn, at the beginning of your turn, all of your creatures will decrease countdown. Obviously, at the beginning of the opponent's turn, all of his countdowns will decrease by 1 as well. If on your turn you have any creatures have countdown of 0, it means they will be attacking on that turn. So he played this creature card, which has a countdown of 2. So he played it on his last turn. On his next turn, this will decrease to 1, which means he still will not attack at the end of the turn. And then I will go, and then finally, on the last turn, finally the countdown will be 0, and he will be attacking that turn. So this tells you pretty much just how often the creatures can attack. So obviously, the lower the countdown, the better the creature, because it can attack more. So the strategy is trying to line up your creatures to attack the idols in the right turn sequence, really, because you're going to have creatures that attack at different times. So that's the strategy, is trying to get those countdowns lined up just right. Because you have cards that can buff all your creatures. For, say, they give all your creatures +2 attack for the whole turn. But it's only 1 turn. So if you've only got half your creatures attacking on that turn, then you're only really benefiting from half of that card. So let's look at what I drew. I drew here a totem which is a structure. This is a very good card. This is a rare totem. It says while it's in play, all your creatures get +1 attack. So pretty simple, straightforward, very good card. So I'm going to need to sacrifice some stuff here. Now I could put the Ranger's Bane on his creature to kill it, but it's going to take 3 turns to die. So let's look really quick at some of the mechanics on this card. We'll look at this first. For each of your Gravelocks, Gravehawk gains +1 attack, so that's pretty straightforward. So if you're playing any other creatures called Gravelocks, it's just going to get bonus attack. And Relentless is an effect that, and all their effects, by the way, you can hover over them and it tells you what they do. Basically, it's like a trample effect. The creature will continue through that row until it runs out of attack. Normally, it is stopped at its first attacker. So, for example, if this card did not have Relentless, let's just say it had 4 attack, just for the sake of understanding how it works. Let's say this had 4 attack, but it did not have Relentless. My Junkyard has 3 health. And in this countdown where 0, he would attack. This structure would die, and that would be the end of this creature's battle. He would not continue on. However, with Relentless, he would continue on to the next hex, and if there's nothing there, the next hex, and eventually to the idol. So he will get to use his leftover damage to do damage to the idol. So that's why Relentless is really good. And Growth, which is the faction we're playing, both of us, focuses on Relentless and another one called Haste. Let's look at Haste really quick. It's exactly what it sounds like. Creature comes into play with countdown set to 0. That simply means that even though this guy has a countdown of 2, the turn he has played, he will be attacking. After he attacks, then he goes to his normal countdown of 2. So that's how Haste works. Haste is pretty good, and it's a very common theme in this deck, as is Relentless, like on this Wolf card here. Alright, so what am I going to do on my turn? Don't have a lot of little creatures to cast just yet. I could attach this Ranger's Bane to him, but honestly, I'd rather sacrifice this or even use this to draw 2 cards. But right now, I still want to level up my resources right now, so I'm going to sacrifice this. Alright, I'm getting to the point where I will be able to start casting some of my larger creatures soon. But right now, I'm not really in any danger. He's got 2 structures that don't hurt me. He's got 1 little creature with 1 attack. And I've got a guy in the way anyway, but he will probably move this guy around to try to damage my idols. So let's end my turn. Alright, he's playing a very good creature, which I'll talk about in a second. This is a really good card that comes, you get 1 of these in the starting pre-constructed Growth deck. Let's take a look to see why this guy is so good. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Yes, that's right. His countdown is 1, which means he can attack every turn. This is really good. This is a fantastic card because it's simply 2 attack, 2 resources, 2 defense, and 1 countdown. So he's going to be attacking every turn, which is really nice. That's why I like this card. And I actually picked up another one of these guys in one of the booster packs, so I threw him in the deck. So he's a great card. I wish I could have drawn this card a little earlier, but unfortunately the opponent got one. So we are going to have to deal with him. Alright, what did we draw? We drew a spell that says, take the next creature scroll from your library and add it to your hand. I'm not a huge fan of this card, and I think I will be taking it out of the deck soon. And the reason for that is, if you think about it, you're spending 1 resource to discard this card and draw a creature card, the next creature card. What you could do is you could just sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. Now, they might not be creatures, and yes, you are using one of your either resource. You can only sacrifice 1 scroll per turn. So technically, this could let you draw an additional card, but it's still a 1-for-1. So I'm not really a fan because there's really no card advantage there. But something easy to do with cards that aren't really that helpful in the beginning of the game when you're collecting cards is sacrificing them. So what I will be doing is I will be sacrificing this card to get a resource. Alright, now I'm at 4 of 4. Now I can start doing some cool things. I'm going to put my totem in play, and I do want to protect this totem because he is very powerful. He will give all my creatures extra attack. So, right now, if you look really quick, let me close this. If you notice these 2 hexes are glowing, I'm not hovering over them. This just lets you know that on your next turn, on the opponent's next turn, their upcoming turn, they will be attacking. Their countdowns will be 0. If I had any creatures on my side that were glowing, it means they will be attacking this turn. So it's just a helpful way to remind you what's going on. So next turn, this structure will be getting destroyed. It will be taking 1 damage from this guy and 2 damage from this guy, so this is going to die. So if I put this totem behind him, it's really only protecting him for 1 turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it way down here in the corner. And the reason for that is he can only move his guys once per turn. So he's going to have to, if he really wants to kill this, he's going to have to move these guys down here, and then again, and then again. So that's why I'm keeping him far away for right now. So let's end our turn. And my structure is destroyed. Now you see again, he's still flashing. That means he gets to attack again. Man, this is a really good card. Okay, now I finally am able to cast some things. I could sacrifice one of these to get one of these bigger guys in play, but I really like this Brother of the Wolf card. Let's see what it does. Alright, for 4 resources, you're getting a 3 attack, 4 health creature with 2 countdown. But the reason he's good is because he has this ability called Summon Wolf. When his countdown is 0, he can summon 1 Ragged Wolf instead of attacking. What Ragged Wolf is, it is I believe it has 1 attack and 2 health off the top of my head, but it has haste. So when this guy gets to 0 countdown in 2 turns, you can summon a wolf, and you can keep summoning these wolves. Why would you want to be summoning wolves, you might ask? Well, let's take a look at my favorite card in the deck. This card is called the Great Wolf. And you can look at all the stats, but really, what I really want you to look at here is this right here. The Great Wolf gets +1 attack for every other wolf you control. So yes, the idea of this deck, well, part of the idea of this deck is having lots of wolves on the board and making more with cards like this so that you can pump up your Great Wolf. And let's check him out again. He has Relentless. So for one of the games I played, he actually got up to 8 attack. So he trampled through the entire row, killed all the creatures, and he took out the idol, all from 1 attack. So this is a really, really good card. Okay, so I have 4 resources, so I'm going to play this card. The question is where. If I put him here, he will be taking damage next turn from the Kinfolk, and he will take it again on the following turn. So I think I need to not prioritize this idol for a second, and it possibly might die. It's going to take some damage for sure, but it might die, but that's okay. I'm going to put the Brother of the Wolf right here and force him to start defending this row. So, because he's got, I got this totem in play, he got a bonus attack. So he has 3 attack baseline, but because of the totem, he's at 4 attack. And I'm going to end my turn. Alright, he plays the Kinfolk Veteran, which has haste, so he is going to do a lot of damage to the guy on my turn. Alright, well, that wasn't very pleasant. Not at all. So let's look at what he did. For 5 resources, he played that same card that I have in my hand, the Kinfolk Veteran, that had haste. So he attacked my guy for 3. Now really quick, let me explain how, in what order, the creatures attack. They attack from, let's look at my side of the board. They attack from top to bottom, from the front to the back. So follow my my hex cursor, and you can see kind of what order they attack in. It goes like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, blah blah blah, all the way down. And you're laughing because Zumal doesn't know his alphabet. No, just don't want to be here forever. So that's kind of how it works. Starting from here, going backwards. So that's how you need to plan your attacks. So if you want creatures to deal damage in a certain order, make sure you have their placement set up properly. So if, for example, on my opponent's turn, this creature will attack before this creature attacks. This creature will attack first, then his Kinfolk Veteran, and then his other guy over here. So let's look at what I drew. I drew another really good card in my deck called Rallying. All the units you control have their countdown decreased by 2. So this is a great card to let you attack with all your creatures on 1 turn. I could cast that to bring this guy down to let him attack to kill this guy off, but that's a pretty expensive way to kill the guy off. I hate to waste this. But in reality, he's not going to die just yet, because if you look, I've got a countdown of 1 and he's got a countdown of 2. So this guy's not going to attack again for 2 more turns. And I'm going to be attacking with him at the end of my next turn. So I don't need to worry about this guy just yet. But he could summon something like a wolf that had haste to kill this guy off, so I gotta be really careful. So I think I'm gonna put something in front of this guy just to save him. So I will be sacrificing something. Now the question is, what do I want to sacrifice? This is really tough. I really want to hold out so I can get this big creature in play, because this is a game-breaking creature. He has a good amount of attack, and he can get more attack, and he has a lot of health. So the question now, and this is the hard part, is what do I sacrifice in order to get to the 5 resources? This is tough. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to sacrifice my veteran. I know this is probably a bad decision, but all my other cards I like more right now. So I am going to dump that, which will allow me to put the wolf in play. And I'm going to put the wolf right here, just in case he has something I can defend my guy. And I will end my turn. I'll be taking 3 damage to this idol this turn. Alright, so my second idol is down to 5 life. So it's halfway gone. Okay, cool. Now I've drawn another wolf card. Now let's check this wolf out. This is actually a really good card to draw. He is a 2 attack, 3 health, and 2 countdown. But his main ability, besides the fact that when he deals damage he is healed by 1, other wolf creatures you control have their countdown decreased by 1 when he comes into play. So you guessed it, when I play this card, my wolf will now be able to attack this turn. Because right now he cannot. Right now his countdown is 1, so he has 1 more turn he has to wait. So I could do some trickery here. Actually, we'll be able to clear the board a little bit. I can clear out these 2 guys. Now, the reason this guy's flashing is because he will be attacking next turn. So let's finish him off. What do you say? So we are going to move our wolf here. Going to move this guy up as well, so that we can take out his structure. Now the question is, where do I want to play this wolf? He does have 3 attack, or 3 health and 2 attack. So I can't take this guy out in 1 turn, but that's okay. I don't want to defend this idol too much. I'm going to be more focused on going on the offensive, so I think I'm going to put him... Let's see. By the way, you only have 90 seconds per turn in a multiplayer match, or in any match with a person. So these turns are taking long just because I'm trying to explain everything to you guys, but even then I really do take long turns, just like you've seen when I play Duel of Champions. I really try to make my moves very strategically. People probably don't like that, but too bad for them. Alright, so I will be placing the wolf and put him down here, because if I put him up high, he's still at risk of dying. I don't want him to die just yet, so I'll be putting him down here, which will decrease the attack of this wolf by 0. So as you can see now, they're both flashing, which means they both will be attacking this turn. So we can tell exactly what's going to happen by looking at the turn sequences. So both of these creatures are going to attack. So because this wolf is further to the front, he will be attacking first. And because I placed a wolf, he has 5 attack. So what's going to happen? He's going to kill this guy who only has 4 health, and he will attack this junkyard for 1, because he'll have 1 attack left over. So this guy will be at 2. Then my druid guy will come around to finish this junkyard off. Now an important decision I have to make. So these will both die, but both of my guys will be done attacking. He will still have his druid in play. So what do I want to do here? Remember, our druid's ability here, or sorry, our brother of the wolf's ability. Sorry, he looks like a druid because of his wolf pelt, which is kind of sad if you think about it. He killed a wolf and he's got wolf friends, but he killed a wolf, or I don't know, maybe it's a wolf, one of his friend wolves who died and he's wearing him for what, I don't know. So he can summon a wolf. So if I click summon wolf, I can place a wolf adjacent to this guy. That will buff my great wolf again. However, well, here's the thing. Let's think about this really quick. If I do end up summoning a wolf, it will have haste, which means I will get 1 more attack. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. Because here's what will happen. If I summon a wolf, he will be at 6 attack. So he'll charge, he'll kill this guy, and he'll do 2 damage to this junkyard. So he'll have 1 health left. But if I summon a wolf, he'll be back here. He will also charge forward and finish off the junkyard. So I think I'd rather do that. Yes, this guy has 4 attack, but it's really going to be wasted on this junkyard. I'd rather get another wolf in play to just do more damage and to make this guy a little bit stronger. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use him. I'm going to summon a wolf. Notice his countdown is now at 2. It is no longer at 0. So now he is not attacking anymore. Let's look at the wolf that he summoned. It's a 1 attack and 2 defense wolf, the ragged wolf, and it has 2 countdown, but it does have haste, so it will be attacking this turn. So I will be doing a total of... Oh, I forgot, that's right. I have this totem in play, so he actually has 2 attack, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be able to do enough damage to even hit this guy back here. So let's see what happens. Alright, that worked out pretty good. He plays another Brother of the Wolf, and my idol's getting pretty low. But let's look here at cards in hand. If you look down here, you can see that my opponent only has 1 card in his hand, and I have 3. So the board's looking pretty good for both of us right now, but I do have a pretty big creature on the board. So I am going to start damaging him. Alright, now how do I want to play this? I won't have any wolves attacking right now. Or will I? Could play this card. It's going to let all my creatures attack right now. Now I'm glad I saved this card. Now the question is, how do I want to move my guys around? Well, I definitely want to kill this guy. This card is going to be attacking next turn, this guy. This guy is attacking next turn, and this guy. I can't move my guys up fast enough. I could move my guy up here to finish him off, and I might do that. Just to kill this guy. The only thing is I'm risking his life by doing that. Would it be smarter to put my wolf up here? The wolf would destroy him and do 2 damage to the idol, and he has enough health to sustain an attack from these 2 guys. Unless my opponent draws something good like a card that lets you buff, which do exist in both of our decks. So let's look here. If I move my wolf up, I will have both of these guys down here. See, this is the problem with battle placement. I would have to use both of these creatures to kill him, because if I put this wolf, I have to move this wolf up to there, and then move this guy down, which means the wolf will attack first. He'll have 1 health left. Then I have to kill him with the remaining damage from this guy. So I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. I do have this wolf back here, but he can only move forward because I've got this totem in the way. So you can see how once the board gets crowded, it kind of makes your strategy a little bit more difficult. So something else I could do, I could move this wolf. Let's see, I'm going to think for a second. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use my druid's ability to summon another wolf. What do you guys think? That will give him more attack. My wolf will have 2 attack. And it will let me do some extra damage. It will finish this guy off, for sure. So let's do that. We're going to play our rallying spell. All our guys are now attacking this turn. I will move my wolf forward here. I will summon a wolf. Put him here. And I have 2 attack. Okay. So now these guys are going to kill this guy off. I am going to move my wolf up 1 space. So he'll be doing 7 damage to him, killing him, and 3 extra damage is going to go to that idol over here. And this wolf is also attacking. I really want to finish off this idol, so I'm going to move this wolf up as well. I can move this guy, although it doesn't really mean much to move him. So I think I will move him. Yeah, I'm going to keep him where he's at. Alright, let's end the turn. Alright, so that was pretty good. Alright, so now you see what he's doing. He's getting some defense in that row that I'm doing pretty good damage at. So now I need to figure out how I'm going to kill this statue. Check this out. This is a 0/4 statue, and at the beginning of the turn it heals 1 health. So this is going to be a little challenging to destroy. And my guy does have 2 health right now, so I got to be very careful. I do not want this guy to die. He's too powerful to let him die. Right now, none of my creatures will be attacking this turn. So what I could do, I think I will do, I can play this Kinfolk Veteran, which is 5 resources and 3 health for defense, but he has haste. I can play him in front of my wolf. He will kill this guy, and he will defend against this guy's attack. I think that's the right play here. I think that's what I'm going to do. End my turn. Well, hold on 1 second. Before I end the turn, I could move some guys around to anticipate my next attack. So let's do that. One thing is, remember that the opponent can move too. So if I move these wolves up, he can move both of his guys up. This guy's going to die this turn, no doubt, but he could move this guy back here. If he moves him back here, he will be attacking and he will be able to kill off my wolf, and I definitely don't want that. So I am going to keep both of these wolves defended and end my turn. Alright, looks like he's going to kill my druid. You know what? I forgot to defend him. That's a boo-boo. So he killed my druid, which is not a huge deal because I'm not casting any more wolves with him. I mean, look at that. I just drew another one anyway. But the main thing is that, did he poison my guy? He did. Look at that. Enchanted creature becomes poisoned for 3 rounds. So that means in 1 more turn, he's dead. Oh no, that's terrible. That's terrible. Unless I draw some way to heal him. And I don't think I will. I really don't think I'm going to. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize him the best way I know how. And that is to buff all my creatures to do a huge attack. So let's see. If I cast this card here, all my creatures gain +2 attack. So this will be 5. And this will be 4. So that's 9. So this guy will have 1 health left, which kind of sucks. Because it means I got to waste another attack on the following turn. He will not be attacking. He will have 9. And he will have 4. Which is more than enough to kill. Well, here's the thing. You got to subtract 4. So let's see. We got 9 and 4. That's 13. Minus 4 is 9. So I will be able to finish this thing off. But I do have to attack with both, I think. Let's see that again. Hang on. 7. That's 9 minus 4. Okay. So I definitely want to move this wolf to finish off something else. And you know what I'm going to do? This guy's been pestering me the whole game. I think it's time to kill him. What do you guys say? We're going to move our wolf down. Now, his extra health will be wasted if I do that. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. But I think that's okay. I think that's what I'm willing to do that just to get this guy off the board. So let's move this guy down. I'm going to play our Crimson Bull. Boom. Man, look at all this damage that's going to happen right now. I'm going to end my... And I still want to save these cards, and I can't afford to play them yet. I don't want to sacrifice it, and I don't want to draw. Well, I don't want to add resources, and I don't want to draw more cards. So I'm just going to end the turn. One idle down, guys. One idle down. And this one's got 1 health left. I'm so close. Oh, he played a really good card. That's a cool card. And unfortunately, my Great Wolf is destroyed. But here's the card he played. This is a kind of a complex card, actually, but it's a very good one. Basically, the way it works is you really want to use it on your own creatures. What it does is it lets them attack every turn, but it does 2 damage to them at the end of the turn. So, by him playing it on my creature, he's letting it attack. He's letting my creature attack, so... But it will die at the end of the turn, so it's going to take 2 damage. So I am going to get 1 attack in. So the question is, what do I want to do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave... Well, let's look at what I drew. This card's fun. It's got 6 attack and 1 health for 3 resources. When it is killed in battle, only in battle, all friendly units gain +2 attack at the end of your turn. So this is one of those cards that's really important. It needs to die on the at a certain time in order for your creatures to get any benefit. Let's say it dies when none of your creatures can attack on that turn, so it's completely wasted. So it's good, but you have to work around it. Personally, I'm thinking about sacrificing it just to get even closer to casting this big guy here. And then I'd be 1 resource away from doing it. But let's plan my attack out right now. I think I'm going to work on destroying this idol next because I'm pretty close to it. All my creatures are close to it. This one's defended and this one is way up here. This one's going to die this turn. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this wolf back. Well, let's see. The only way I can do damage to this idol with this guy is to move him down. I don't have any other choice. Now, if I want to get one of these creatures to do damage to this, I have to move him back, which means I can only move this guy up. So I will have wasted damage on this idol. It only has 1 health, and I do 3 damage. But that's okay. Oh, you know what? I just made a mistake anyway. They're not attacking. I'm sorry, I thought they were flashing. They are not flashing, so they will not be attacking this turn. So only these 2 guys will be attacking, but that's okay. So let's end the... We're going to end the turn, or we're going to sacrifice our resource. We're going to sacrifice this to get resources. Now we're at 6, and I'm going to use my mana to summon this guy. Another one of those druid fellows with the wolf for his backpack, and we'll put him right here. The reason for that is because this is going to be the idol I focus on right now. The enemy is probably going to rally up a big defense here, but I'm going to take it down because this one is going to be close to dying. The wolf's going to die, and there he goes. He's dead. This idol only has 4 health left, so once I defeat this, the game is over and I win. Alright, looks like now the opponent's got a wolf of his own. But it looks like I drew just the right card in order to deal with him, which is fantastic. I drew this Ragged Wolf, which will have 2 attack because of my totem. And that will be enough to finish this wolf off. That's my only option. I need to get this guy off the table immediately. Now something I could do, if I wanted to get more damage in, well, either way it doesn't matter. Whether I put the Ragged Wolf here or move him down and put it there, it doesn't make a difference. Because it's the same card. These are both Ragged Wolves. Something I could do is I could sacrifice him to get that 7th resource. I'd hate to do that right now. I'd rather wait. I mean, look at this guy. Let's look at him now that we are getting close to the point where we might be able to use him. 7 resources. He does 3 attack, 6 health for 2 countdown. He has Relentless, which means he will trample through all of the hexes, the hex squares. That's the hex squares, the hexes. Sorry guys, it's late. He will trample through all the spaces until it runs out of attack. And for each creature adjacent to him, he gets +1 attack. So you toss this guy here, or here. Better to put him here right now. He will get +1, 2, 3, +4 attack. Because he's got 4 creatures adjacent. Now, I'm not sure about, it does say creatures. Only these 3 are creatures. This is not a creature. This is a structure. So I'm not sure if this counts. I don't think it does. But I think right now, even though I'd like to see this guy come into play, I don't know, man. I want to get him in play so you can see how he works, but the game is almost over, so I think we're just going to finish the game right now. So I'm going to put the wolf in play here. And let this game come to a swift close soon. Right, the opponent doesn't have much he can do. He's playing a creature that lets him draw a card, and another creature that lets him do damage, but we're talking about the AI here. He should have put these creatures in the way of these idols, because he's gonna lose this game very, very soon. So let's look at really quick what he played. He played first the Sister of the Fox. Basically, it's a little creature, a 1/1 creature that lets you draw a card when it comes into play. And he played the Frostbeard guy, which you saw me sacrifice earlier. So that's what he and his epic beard look like. Alright, so we drew an enchantment here. This is not our first enchantment, but it's our first one that benefits us. For two resources, we can put this on a creature, and it is permanent. It increases its health and his attack by 2. However, it increases the countdown by 1. So you have to wait one more turn to attack with your creature, but it does make him more powerful. So it's a great combo is when you play this card with something like the Mangy Wolf that decreases the cooldown of another wolf. I've done that before. I play like a Ragged Wolf that has no countdown, increased its countdown with Bear Paw, and then decreased it by playing Mangy Wolf. So this card's good, as long as you can work with that drawback of increasing his countdown. Alright, well, I can end the game right now. It's kind of hard to see, but you kind of have to play Tetris with your creatures here. So this guy has 1 health and this guy has 2. Both of these guys are attacking this turn, and they both have 4 health. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift my guys around, like so. So all my guys can only move 1 space a turn. I moved my guys around so that each of these guys are going to attack the idol, and this will end the game this turn. Let's end the game. Alright, victory. Okay, let's look really quick here what happened. We got some points, but the bottom number we're looking at here is this 172. I got 172 gold from winning this AI match. And you can play AI all day, all night, for as long as you want, and you can get gold that way and buy cards. And it's a good amount of gold. It's not as much as you get playing multiplayer, but I've only been playing quick matches with AI, and I've managed to buy a good amount of cards. So that completes this first video. I'm going to have a second part up very soon, showing you guys what you can do with the gold that you make in the game, the in-game store, and as well as the deck builder. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really short, but I'll have it up the next day or two, so you guys can check that out. Alright, thanks for joining me, and take care. Time to Hearth out.